This isn't just another motorcycle story, it's a legend reborn. Watch till the end, because what I reveal last will blow your mind. The name Harley-Davidson is one of the most recognizable in the world of motorcycling, evoking images of roaring V-twins, long open highways, and the freedom of the American road. Yet, hidden within the company's long and storied history is a chapter that often surprises new enthusiasts. Harley-Davidson once built small displacement, lightweight motorcycles, very different from the heavyweight cruisers we associate with the brand today. Among these smaller bikes, one name stands out, the Harley-Davidson Sprint. The Sprint represented a unique era when Harley attempted to diversify its lineup and attract a younger generation of riders during the 1960s and early 1970s. Now, more than half a century later, Harley is bringing the Sprint back in 2026, aiming to repeat history by reaching out to new riders once again. To fully appreciate the importance of this revival, it's necessary to dive deep into the origins of the original Sprint, its place in Harley's evolution, and the reasons this historic name is being resurrected. The 1960s, Harley-Davidson looks to Europe. The story of the Harley-Davidson Sprint begins with a bold decision by Harley management in the late 1950s. At that time, the American motorcycle market was beginning to shift. British brands like Triumph, BSA, and Norton were selling large numbers of agile, sporty motorcycles in the United States, and Japanese manufacturers like Honda were just starting to make their presence felt with small, affordable bikes like the Honda Super Cub. Harley, meanwhile, was seen primarily as a maker of big, heavy V-twin cruisers and touring machines, which appealed to a more mature rider base. This left the company vulnerable to losing younger riders to competitors who offered cheaper, lighter, and easier to handle motorcycles. To respond to this challenge, Harley-Davidson purchased a 50% stake in the motorcycle division of Ermacchi, an Italian company known for building small but robust single-cylinder machines. This partnership would prove crucial. Rather than designing a completely new lightweight motorcycle from scratch, Harley could now adapt Ermacchi's proven designs for the American market. The first fruits of this collaboration were seen in 1961, when Harley-Davidson introduced the Sprint, a rebadged version of Ermacchi's four-stroke horizontal single. This marked a major departure from Harley's traditional product line. The Sprint was light, compact, and unlike anything else in the Harley showroom. The original Sprint, design and appeal. The early Harley-Davidson Sprint models were offered in 250cc displacement, using a four-stroke single-cylinder engine that laid almost flat in the frame. This unusual layout gave the bike a low center of gravity and good handling characteristics. The engine produced modest power by modern standards, but enough to give the Sprint a lively, approachable personality. Riders appreciated its combination of European engineering and Harley branding, and it soon developed a reputation as a fun, practical motorcycle for city commuting and weekend rides. In 1969, Harley-Davidson introduced the Sprint 350, which replaced the earlier 250cc version and provided a slight bump in power and displacement. This was also the period when the bike became available in both street and scrambler variants. The scrambler versions, with their high-mounted exhausts and off-road styling, appealed to the growing popularity of dirt riding and dual-purpose machines in the late 1960s. Riders could now take their Sprint off the pavement and enjoy a taste of adventure riding, long before the modern, ADV bike, segment became mainstream. The Sprint also gained a following among amateur racers and flat-track enthusiasts. Because it was relatively light and easy to work on, many riders modified their Sprints for competition, giving Harley a presence in smaller displacement racing classes. This was an era when Harley was trying to compete with Japanese brands not only in sales but also on the racetrack, and the Sprint gave them a weapon to do so. The market challenges of the 1970s. Despite its appeal, the Sprint faced increasing competition throughout the 1970s. Japanese manufacturers like Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki began to dominate the small displacement market with bikes that were not only affordable and reliable but also featured electric start, overhead camshaft designs, and smooth performance. The Sprint, with its kick-start and more old-fashioned engineering, started to feel outdated. By the mid-1970s, Harley-Davidson ended production of the Sprint and its other Ermacchi-derived singles. In 1978, Harley sold its remaining stake in Ermacchi to Cagiva, ending this chapter of collaboration entirely. For Harley, the Sprint was a bold experiment that didn't achieve the long-term market success they had hoped for, but it left behind a legacy. The bike proved that Harley could produce smaller, sportier motorcycles that appealed to new riders. It also showed that there was room in Harley's identity for something other than heavyweight cruisers. Enthusiasts who owned Sprints remember them fondly for their simplicity, character, and charm. Why revive the Sprint in 2026? Fast forward to the 2020s, and Harley-Davidson finds itself facing a similar challenge to the one it encountered in the 1960s. Its traditional heavyweight cruisers and touring bikes still sell, but the brand struggles to capture the attention of younger riders. The global motorcycle market is becoming more competitive, with companies like Royal Enfield, KTM, Honda, and BMW successfully selling small and mid-displacement bikes that appeal to urban riders, women, and people looking for affordable, fun transportation. Harley's existing entry-level models, such as the Street 500 and Street 750, were discontinued in many markets due to tightening emission regulations and limited sales success. This created a gap in Harley's lineup for a true beginner-friendly motorcycle. The decision to revive the Sprint name is therefore highly strategic. Harley is not just launching another motorcycle, it is invoking a historic name that connects with the company's past efforts to attract new riders. The Sprint brand carries a sense of heritage and authenticity, but it is also free from some of the baggage associated with Harley's big cruiser culture. By calling the new bike Sprint, Harley can signal that this is something fresh, sporty, and accessible, aimed at a new generation rather than just the company's traditional customer base. The symbolism of the name. Names matter in motorcycling, and Harley knows this. Reviving a name like Sprint allows the company to tap into nostalgia while simultaneously introducing itself to riders who may have never considered a Harley before. The word, Sprint, itself evokes speed, agility, and fun, qualities that Harley hopes the new bike will embody. It suggests a bike that is quick off the line, easy to handle, and perfect for short, spirited rides in the city or on twisty backroads. From a marketing perspective, this is an opportunity for Harley to reposition itself as not only a brand for older riders with disposable income but also a lifestyle choice for younger, urban, and more diverse riders around the world. In markets such as India, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, where small motorcycles dominate the roads, a Harley-badged entry-level model could dramatically expand the company's reach.